Everyone to lesson 6 of our Civics and Citizenship unit for humanities in year 7, and today we're moving on to a slightly different topic to Australian values, and now we're going to move on to exploring and understanding Australia as a secular nation. So on a Word document you're going to complete the following activities and then you're going to submit via Compass as you have been doing for the last 5 sessions. So our hook for today is to look at source 1 on page 504. So we're going to have a read of that just now and have a look at it together because it can be a little difficult to understand. So what we're going to do after we've had a look at it is to write 2 to 3 sentences on what you notice about religion in Australia. So let's have a look at it over here. So today we're going to read through 20.2, Australia as a secular nation. Now in our hook it said to look at source 1, that's this one over here. Now hopefully you've had a look at this in some of your other subjects such as maths, but if you haven't, this is a pie chart. And a pie chart is used to display data in order to look at similarities and differences in things. So let's have a read of what it is. This pie chart shows the different religions or faiths of Australians according to the 2011 census. Now, a census is a survey that's taken of all Australians in order to work out, it does things like where they live, what religion they might belong to, how many cars they have, all different things about Australians so we can get an understanding of our society. So this specific one is looking at the data on religion. So in a pie chart, each section represents one item in that data. So for example, this orange section here represents Roman Catholicism. And the percentage down here means 25.3% of people follow this religion according to the 2011 census. So in 2011, when they did this census, 25.3% of the Australian population were Roman Catholics. Then this section here, the light grey, shows us that 22.3% of Australians said that they followed no religion. And each one it keeps going down depending on how many or what percentage of people follow that religion. So for example, Buddhism is only 2.5% of the population. It's at this really dark grey section here. Hinduism is only 1.3%, so this middle grey here. So as you can see, it shows us the different types of religions that people stated that they were in the census. So a little hint here for the 2 to 3 sentences you're writing is look for the differences in the size of the slices. The size of the slice shows the percentage of people who practice that specific religion in Australia in 2011. So using the information we just talked about, write 2 to 3 sentences about what you have noticed about this pie chart. Okay, now that we've done that, or take a second to pause this video, go do that, and come back when you're done. Alright, now that you're back, everyone should have completed that hook. And now we're going to read pages 504 to 505 together. So let's have a look. That's this chapter here, 20.2, Australia as a secular nation. So let's get started. While Christianity is an important part of life for many people in Australian society, the church has never been directly involved in running the country. Instead, the government, also known as the state, is responsible for running our political and legal systems. This separation of church and state is known as secularism. Secularism is a key feature of Australia's identity as a nation. As a secular nation, Australia is able to support and encourage a diverse multicultural society that gives its people the freedom to choose their religious beliefs. Like Australia, most nations around the world today adopt a secular system of government. However, some nations, such as Iran and Saudi Arabia, base their legal and political systems on religious teachings. So secular, all that means is that religion, or the church, is separated from our government and our legal system. And the government is also known as the state. So it's a separation of church, which is religion, and the state, which is the government. Okay, so we've got some other sources down here. So source 2. Now this is another chart, another way of showing information about data from the census. So this chart shows how many religions and faiths have been practiced in Australia since 1901. So both of these sources, source 1 and source 2, are looking at religion in Australia. One, however, is only looking at 1 year. This is just looking at 2011. However, if you look at this chart, we can see that along this axis, the x-axis, we can see that they are talking about the census year. So we have data on 1901, 1911, 1921, all the way up to 2011. So this data, this bar here, is the same data as the bar that's up here. Now, along here is the percentage of self-describing religious affiliation. So this is the percent of people who have said that they follow these religions. And each religion is represented by a colour. So Anglican is this orange colour. Catholic is this dark grey. Other Christian, so that means other faiths that within the branch of Christianity, is this peach colour. Other religions is this very light grey colour. No religion is black. And then this light peach colour, this nude colour, means that the person, they haven't stated what religious affiliation they have, or they didn't describe it. So this shows us over time what changes if we look along this axis. So we can see Anglican. Actually, there's less and less people saying that they are Anglican since 1901 down to 2011. We can see that no religion actually grows. It does the opposite, where there's more people that are saying that they have no religion as the years go by. So source 3. The flag of Victoria reflects Australia's loyalty to the British monarchy, which is a strong Christian identity. So the British monarchy is the kings and queens of England. And as a Commonwealth, as part of the Commonwealth, we have the British monarchy as our monarchy. Okay, so we're part of the Commonwealth, the British Commonwealth. So that's why the flag of Victoria has something that reflects that monarchy. We are not part of England, but we are part of the Commonwealth. Okay. Australia's many faiths. Australia is a multicultural nation that is home to people from all over the world. These people brought with them their different customs, beliefs, and religions. Australia's commitment to the freedom of religion has allowed people to practice whichever religion they choose, as long as it does not interfere with the rights of others or break any laws. This tolerance for many people's beliefs is a core value of Australian society, one that allows us to live in harmony with one another. So remember, that's talking about our inclusivity that we talked about in the last couple of sessions about the Australian values. We're inclusive. We believe that everyone has the right to practice their own religion. They have the freedom to practice their own religion as long as it doesn't harm themselves or others. And then finally, separation of church and state. One of the core principles of Australian democracy is that it does not allow religious institutions, so the church, to directly influence the decisions of the government, which is the state. Australia's public health, education, and political institutions are all free from religious connections. This ensures that religious beliefs of one group of people are not forced onto Australians of other faiths. It also means that decisions about what is best for today's society can be made through open discussion. Despite being a secular nation, religions still influence the beliefs and decisions of many Australians, who, as both voters and politicians, determine how the nation is governed. So then we've got source 4 here. Let's just have a read of that. Australia is considered a secular nation because the church and the state, or government, are separate. And source 5. Unlike Australia, Saudi Arabia is a non-secular nation in that their legal system is based on specific religious teachings. Right, so now that we've read those 2 pages, we're going to have a look at what our task is. So,
In the same Word document that you've written your 2 to 3 sentences on the pie graph on page 504, I want you to now, using a textbook or Google, write the definition of the following words. So secular, multicultural, and religious beliefs. And then we're going to answer these textbook questions. So answer questions 1 to 7 on page 505. So that's these ones over here. So our first section is remember and understand questions. So question 1, what is secularism? Question 2, which 2 nations are examples of non-secular states? Question 3, describe 2 benefits of having a separation of church and state. Question 4, what is the religion of the British monarchy? Now we move on to our apply and analyze questions. So remember, guys, these ones make you think just that little bit more, make a couple of connections between the content we're learning and your own beliefs and your own opinions. So question 5, what do you think it might be like to live in a non-secular nation of a different religion from your own? Question 6, look at source 1. List the faiths in order of highest to lowest number of followers in Australia. So that's source 1 here. So you're going to list them from the highest to the lowest amount of followers of that religion in Australia. Question 6. We're up to question 7. Look at source 2. 7a. Which affiliation has been increasing over the years? And question B. What has been happening to the proportion of Christian followers, including Catholic and Anglican, over the years? So let's have a look. Now this is source 2 here, remember this one? Now you're going to use that in order to answer those 2 questions. So which affiliation has been growing over the years? Which one has increased in size? And then you're going to look at the Christianity one. So that includes Anglican, Catholic, and other Christian. So these 3 altogether, which is these 3 here, what has been happening over time to these 3? Alrighty, so once you have finished those questions, that is it for today's session. So well done, guys. We really appreciate you working hard through these sessions with us. And remember, email me any questions. I'm always here to help, and happy learning!